Well, Congressman Ted Poe with us this evening. And again, Representative, thanks so much for your time tonight, sir.
Good to talk to you.
Attorney General Eric Holder going to be testifying before the House Judiciary Committee tomorrow. Care to give us a preview of some of the questions you're interested in asking the Attorney General?
Well, I have a lot of questions to ask him, and I'm going to zero in on his leadership, or rather his lack of leadership in the Justice Department, holding people accountable for this absurd conduct where the United States helped facilitate guns going to Mexico, go into the hands of the Mexican people, the drug cartels. Mexican nationals are killed by these guns. 2 Americans are killed by these guns. And who he's holding accountable for this improper conduct. I want to find out from him what he's doing about it, rather than saying, as he has been in the past, well, I really didn't get the memo, I didn't see it, and I didn't read it, so it's not my fault. I'm going to ask him those type of questions.
You know, one of the things that we've seen just over the past couple of days, I think it was yesterday, or actually earlier today, CBS News, Cheryl Atkinson released a story talking about an email that I think has been previously known, but it certainly indicates that there were discussions within the Justice Department and within the ATF about how to use Fast and Furious as a means to push for new gun regulations. And you know, this was while Fast and Furious was going on, and while the public was unaware of this. It seems like the administration wanted to use the fact that these guns were going across the border in Fast and Furious to call for more gun control laws here at home.
No question about it. The whole concept of Operation Fast and Furious to supposedly trace and track the weapons going to the bad guys and try to catch the bad guys is a ruse, because the real purpose of this Operation Fast and Furious was to facilitate long guns going to Mexico and then blame the gun dealers and issue more federal regulations on controlling long guns and the sale of them. They even have a memo. They call it demand letter number 3, that they want to implement more regulations on long gun sales. So I think that was the whole purpose of this operation, not tracing and tracking guns to Mexico.
Yeah, you know, how far up do you think the chain of command this goes? I mean, we've already seen Senator Grassley earlier today say that it was time for Lanny Brewer, the head of the criminal division at DOJ, to resign or be fired over his role in Fast and Furious. Do you think this reaches up to the cabinet level as well?
It reaches to the person in charge, and that's the Attorney General of the United States. He is the chief law enforcement officer in the country. He's the chief lawyer in the country. Of anybody that's supposed to uphold the law of the land, it's the Attorney General. And this all happened under his watch, I believe, with his knowledge. He is responsible. He should step aside. We should have a special counsel investigate the Justice Department and the ATF. The Justice Department can't investigate the Justice Department, so it goes to him. I and others have requested and asked that he resign from his post. But whether he does or not, the president ought to do the right thing, appoint somebody to as a special counsel to investigate the Justice Department and the ATF.
What about the story that the New York Times came out with over the weekend, talking about the DEA allegedly laundering money for the cartels? I know that Representative Issa is interested in exploring this further with the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee, but yeah, you know, it certainly seems like a picture is being painted, Congressman, of an administration that is almost enabling these cartels, not prosecuting them.
Well, yes, we don't see any results of this stealth operation in Mexico. We don't see any results of that. People haven't been arrested and gone to jail. I'm talking about the cartel members. And I think the evidence is not in on the DEA and the money laundering episode yet, so it'd be too early to make a judgment on that. We will find out exactly what took place. Follow the money, follow the guns. What is the United States doing? And facilitating both of those operations going into the hands of the drug cartels, because that's what they want, money and guns. We'll find out about the money laundering, whether that's actually something that should be looked into further as time progresses.
Absolutely. Well, do you think that tomorrow, Congressman, we're going to hear anything new from the Attorney General? I mean, he's got a lot to answer for, a lot of new developments since the last time he testified before Congress, but do you think we'll get some straight answers?
I don't think we'll get straight answers. The Attorney General will use the old witnesses that come before Congress to filibuster. And I mean by that, members of Congress only have limited time on how long we can question any witness. So witnesses like Holder and Napolitano try to filibuster, not answer the question, and talk a long time so that the time runs out. So our main goal first will make sure that he just answers the question and not volunteers information. But he's going to take the defense that I didn't get the memo, I didn't read the memo, and therefore I'm not culpable. Well, he is responsible because he is in charge, and I have several questions to ask him about his competence. You know, he made the comment last year to me before the Judiciary Committee when he was talking about how awful the Arizona immigration bill was, that it was unconstitutional. Then I asked him, have you read the bill? And he said, no, I really haven't gotten around to reading the bill. Well, now he's saying, I hadn't gotten around to reading the memo about Fast and Furious. So he has a tendency not to read important legal matters. Therefore, he has shown that he is not in the right place to lead the Justice Department.
Do you believe that the Attorney General needs to resign?
Yes, I do. I think the Attorney General needs to resign to restore some credibility to the Justice Department. These actions that have occurred under his watch, and the buck stops at the top, and he's in charge of the ATF and the Justice Department. And it seems to me, in my opinion, the Justice Department's gone rogue, and he needs to resign.
Congressman Ted Poe joining us here tonight on Cam and Company. And, Congressman, look forward to seeing your questioning tomorrow of the Attorney General. Thanks so much for joining us tonight, sir, and look forward to doing this again soon.
Thank you, Cam.